everybody, and welcome to another episode of Over the Curb podcast, a Formula One podcast for fans old and new by Formula One fans old and new. We are talking about Suzuka this time around with Kramer, Honey Badger, Shakuni, and Neil, and myself. A full house again. We are killing
Yo, yo,
it.
yo.
Yes, we are
Welcome
killing
back
it.
to the podcast.
We are killing it with the attendance stats this season.
Yep.
Yeah. There should be
Kramer
some
has
attendance
finally
prize.
unmuted himself.
Oh my god. Miracle.
There's like some memes I can just see. Speaking of memes, let's talk about Suzuka. Because,
Oh, I thought you wanted to talk about George Russell.
oh my god, I am going to talk about George Russell.
I thought you wanted to talk about Chelsea.
I always want to talk about Chelsea.
Sorry, guys.
Okay,
I
speaking
just
of
told
memes,
that I don't
let's
want to
talk
roast
about
Chelsea.
Ferrari.
I don't
It
think
came
Chelsea even counts as meme now. It's just sadness.
But in all fairness, I will be supporting Chelsea this season wholeheartedly.
Why? Chelsea
Man.
Chelsea supporters are not supporting Chelsea.
No, who said we're not supporting?
You said yourself. I don't care if
Yeah, in
Chelsea
the last
lost. I'm
podcast,
just
you
happy
were-
that
Okay, I
Arsenal
am
drew.
not supporting. Okay, I am not supporting. I give up. I am supporting Brighton.
Brighton.
You still won't support the team that is currently second. You'd rather go for the third one.
Who's second?
Liverpool.
No.
Brighton are underdogs.
What?
See, I agree with Kramer. Brighton are underdogs. Like, I would also rather support Brighton, to be
Wait,
honest.
but Kramer, you put up a story saying that you have turned into a Liverpool fan now.
Yes. Very public announcement because I remember this fucker saying that he's going to support Liverpool and I didn't. I was like, I need a public announcement for the same, and he did.
Man, I tried to
And
jinx
this is
Liverpool.
why, listeners, this is why we pick on Kramer. It is 100% warranted. You don't have to feel sorry because this is what he does. This is exactly what he does. And
Dude,
we
I
love
was
it
trying to
because
jinx
that's a lot of
Liverpool.
content for us to pick on, but he absolutely deserves it.
Mm,
And he has nothing to say
I
for
was
himself.
trying to jinx.
Anyways.
Okay, I was
What
trying
will
to
he
jinx
say? What
Liverpool.
will he
Okay.
say? He can't say
Exactly.
anything.
He can't say anything.
Man, I was trying to jinx Liverpool like I did with Manchester United, but it didn't work.
No, because for once I will side with Kramer and say Manchester United has Ten Hag rather than blaming everything on Maguire. Maguire. For Kramer's sake today, I will refer to him as Maguire and not Maguire.
Yeah, thank you.
Mary Maguire.
And we can start referring Ten Hag as Ten Hag. For more shit jokes, connect with me.
Yeah.
Man, it is not
Dude,
shit jokes, it is shitty
I'm
jokes.
so used. Okay, I'm so used to the 442 lingo. I like while I'm talking to my friends about football, those things are automatically coming up to my mind, out of my mouth. and the people they are seeing like what the fuck is this guy talking about? When I say Maguire, I feel it's normal, but they are saying, dude, what is Maguire? He's Maguire.
Yeah, but like Maguire is the only 442 lingo that I know because I tried to follow.
Maguire, even we called it with before 442 also, me and my friends.
Yeah.
Maguire is pretty common among Indian fans though. Not
Yes.
Yeah, okay, but like I was not a football girl
And
before.
for British fans, it is the fridge.
Fridge, yes.
Fridge,
6
slab
foot
head,
4-inch
flat
fridge.
face.
But
Greek
still,
Street
the
Fighter.
fridge one sounds so good because I think either Arsenal or Chelsea made an entire slogan about it. He's just a fridge. I can store my drink, something like that.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Man, Chelsea fans are not that creative.
Arsenal fans made a whole chant just for Harry Maguire being a fridge.
Yeah, we have one song and kept it for like
Who
last
was
20
that
years.
team that was chanting get Maguire on the one that they lost? The crowd, the opponent team support was shouting that Ten Hag should get Maguire on the field, and then he did, and then they scored a lot of goals. Was it against Arsenal? Did
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I
that was
think so.
fun. Yeah, the one where him and Phil Jones fucked up. Phil Jones
Not
is
Phil Jones, Johnny Evans.
Johnny
Johnny
Evans.
Evans. Who
Evans,
the fuck is
Evans.
Yeah,
Phil
that's
Jones?
Arsenal. Arsenal.
Who is Phil Jones?
Phil
Phil Jones was
Jones.
another player.
Phil Jones, you
Phil
can only
Jones.
recognize by the pictures.
Yeah.
No. If you
Of his
think that
face.
Harry Maguire is the biggest goofball, oh, Phil Jones is the father of this entire
OG.
thing.
OG
Dude, no,
Goof.
no, no. There is one more father. Who was that
Who?
Arsenal defender, centre back man? I'm forgetting his name.
Gabriel.
No, 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 no. He was ex. Man, he did like full 360 spin around Hazard and all, man. Oh,
Wait. That German guy.
man, I forgot his name.
Did a 360 around Hazard. Hazard is like the one
Yeah.
player
No,
you're obsessed with.
no, he didn't do a 360. Vermaelen था क्या? नहीं.
Mustafi.
Oh,
Oh,
Sure.
German
Yeah.
guy.
but Mustafi was good, bro.
हाँ, Mustafi was generally good. Just Hazard तो वो तो एक ही बार हुआ था ऐसा.
Man, come on, man. I can pull up
Squadron
Mustafi.
Mustafi.
Yeah.
Then the German guy, what was his name? The tall guy.
Rob Holding.
I think
No,
No, Rob Holding.
Rob.
That's
Rob Holding.
English.
English.
that Kelosinac.
Kolasinac.
Koscielny.
No,
Laurent Koscielny.
Yeah.
But like, I'm still trying to figure out why I remembered the name Phil Jones because I.
Phil Jones is also
Phil
famous
Jones
in
is like, yeah. You must have heard it somewhere like Phil Jones Hospital or something.
because he was there in Manu for like
Good.
4 years, didn't play a game.
The only way you would remember Phil Jones is from that pick, dude. The
Yeah.
defensive pick.
The defensive pick
The
where his
face.
face is all me.
Yeah. The face he makes in that pick.
Man, he is legend, dude. Who is that one more guy who got shit in his mouth? Ashley Young.
Yeah, Ashley.
Oh,
That was a
He
nice
literally got
pairing.
shit in his mouth.
Yeah.
Do you know that,
And
Mansi?
No, I just think that I was going to say Phil Hill and then I just went for Jones for some reason. But
The-
no, I would have.
There is
Yeah.
a video on YouTube showing Ashley Young getting shat in his mouth by a bird.
What the
You.
fuck?
and
Yes,
it is not
yes.
Photoshop or made up. It is
nothing.
It
it is
actually happened.
true.
Who is Ashley Young?
Another
Oh,
man.
wait.
He is a very
Ex-Manu.
old young player.
Yeah.
Yes.
His name is Ashley. Yeah. He was pretty good at Aston Villa.
There was
Okay.
a time when he was really good, but then
He
He
went
just-
to Manu.
yeah.
Dude, even at Roma, I was solid.
At Roma, he was solid.
Yeah, but why
Anyone
do
who
players keep
plays
failing
for-
at Manu? It's like Manu sounds like
Chelsea.
the Red Bull second seat. Like what? Like everyone
So-
who's solid just like fucks it up at Manu. What's up with Manu?
High hopes.
Actually, the problem is that everyone joins Manchester United with a certain set of ego, and everyone with ego cannot work together. You know, someone has to bow down, and in Manchester United, no one bows down. And if you do by chance bow down thinking for the good of the game and team, then you get exploited so much that you just start not giving shit about it.
Huh.
It's the history of the Manchester United.
Okay. After that stunning
It's the
Japanese
legend
cricket
of,
commentary, let's get into
Okay.
it.
Let's go back to
Yeah,
Suzuka.
let's get to F1.
Let's get to F1. Suzuka. One sentence reactions for Suzuka.
Okay,
I
for
can't-
me, it was a Mercedes team
Good.
battle.
The race was good,
Was-
but yeah, Max, it was lights out and Max takes the win situation. But Baki battles were good. I also liked McLaren trying to do the undercut and everything. So all in all, good, I guess.
I think there are a lot of team orders in this race.
Yeah, that.
Also, George
mean-
Russell's bitch ass.
But so I think the team orders for Suzuka for every team were strategic. I did not find any team order this time just to satisfy the ego of someone. It was more so done for the greater good of the team.
Yeah, right. So like the McLaren team orders made sense. Lando had more pace. Um, the team orders for
Mercedes also
Mercedes.
makes sense.
Yeah, it made sense, but like it was a little bit too late. I was like, and George Russell just sitting his ass down and just arguing, oh, why can't we do it on the last lap? Like, what?
But
You're
he took 3 laps to just do that. And the gap between him and Lewis was not that big for him to slow down. He took 3 laps to do that. He was still fighting while getting team orders. And then
because
he's crying on, why are you giving me team orders? Bitch, you are not
exactly.
doing what you are supposed to.
Exactly. And like even in the beginning of the race, okay, attacks Lewis first. Lewis fights back and then he's like, what are we doing? Are we fighting others or are we fighting each other?
The-
You started it! You started it!
Don't start what you can't finish, idiot.
Oh
Oh
wow.
my god, I am so tired of George Russell. Like, even up until halfway through the season, I was still like, okay, George, you're doing some questionable things, but it's okay. You're young, I'll give you the benefit. You're like, we have a strong driver pairing. As soon as the car is good, going, like, he's going to, like, Lewis is going to need a good second driver. But his bitch ass is just, like, fucking annoying me, man. It's annoying me so much. He's lucky he didn't get team orders in Singapore. Couldn't do anything, could he? George Russell.
Seriously, dude.
I was I was sitting at the airport while I was watching that beginning part of the race, while sitting at the airport, and I literally shouted so loudly that people around were like, "What happened to her?" And he
Yeah,
was
we are
like,
coming
"Calm
to
down."
Q1.
It is so annoying. George Russell. I don't know. Like he thinks he's done. I think he's still living in in his performance of last year because he did beat
Mm.
Lewis last year, and very good job. Um, but Lewis is carrying this team, even with questionable team strategies and everything. Like he is the driver fighting for the second in the in the drivers championship, and they are literally in such a close battle with Ferrari. Like I don't know. And first of all, like nobody asked George to do a one stop. He chose to do a one stop.
Exactly my point. That dumbass, he is so stupid. He decides to do it, then gets angry on why are you doing this to me?
Yes, exactly. And like I can't with George Russell anymore. I understand why Mercedes have them, and I now understand why Lewis was so much in favor of keeping Valtteri, although like Bottas, his performance in 2021 was not that great, I would say. If George was in the Mercedes in 2021, it would have been a very different result. Lewis would have retired after winning his eighth, and we wouldn't have given a fuck that Red Bull was dominating so much. But George Russell, get his shit together, George.
He really needs to.
And then Gasly, dude, I don't even recall when Alpine gave Gasly the team orders to pass Ocon to attack Alonso. I either missed it or it was not broadcasted. I don't know what happened, but apparently Gasly, so Alpine asked Ocon to give the to swap places with Gasly to let him go through to attack Alonso and try to win a position. He wasn't able to, and so on the last lap, Gasly was asked to give the position back, and he lost his shit. Did you guys know this?
Oh yeah, yeah. He
No, no,
did the
no.
middle finger and everything
Yeah. So
Wait, middle finger to whom?
to Ocon
to the team.
and to the
I
team.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
What? I didn't know this.
Yes. So Gasly was like, why are you asking me to do this? I was clearly faster, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And in the press conference, Gasly was like, I don't understand why I was asked to do that, but we'll discuss it internally. And Ocon in his press conference said that, I've been with the team for 4 years, and when I was driving with Daniel or when I was driving with Alonso, the rule was always the same. This has always been the rule. If you swap positions to gain positions, if you're not able to gain the positions, you give the place back. So that has always been the rule, and that's what Ocon said. So clearly, the Ocon Gasly beef that we talked about when they were joining the team together, it's still there, and it's crazy, dude. So, Honey Badger, what are your thoughts on on finding this out on this podcast? Because this thing was not
No,
broadcasted. Gasly's anger on asking for the position back was not broadcasted, because I think at the time, in the last couple of laps, it was like the battle for fifth position between Carlos and Lewis, which was the focus, and
mm-hmm.
then Max Verstappen on the final lap. That was the focus. So
Yeah.
I don't think this was
Yeah.
announced or like broadcasted, but yeah, this is what happened.
I mean, I don't have any. I mean, I don't know exactly what happened there. I don't know even the fact that they had a team orders in place, so
Yeah.
can't comment on it much.
Yeah, I think
Unless until if I see the whole race through the Gasly's onboard hearing through his radios, I'm not sure I can get the
Yeah.
context of it.
Yeah, because even the fact that Gasly was like Ocon was given team orders was not broadcasted, so it's yeah. And then let's talk about Sergio Perez.
Before going to Sergio, do you think the Mercedes fight was okay for you?
No, it's not okay for me. It feels like it seems like, see, clearly George is disappointed with what happened last week. I think a lot of it
Okay.
is coming from that place also, because he had a podium in his head. He had a chance to win the race and to make up those positions. So I think there is a little bit of that frustration. And then maybe I think in the debrief he saw that how much faster Lewis was. I think George Russell knows that if both the Mercedes drivers have the same strategy, he cannot beat Lewis. Lewis is literally performing really, really well in that car.
Yeah.
So I think that anytime he feels like he is not getting the preferential strategy, or if he's asked to follow team orders or something like that, I just think that he thinks that he's doing so well that he should be preferred. Because even in the starting, when in the first couple of laps, when he attacked Lewis and Lewis fought back and gained his position back, his entire attitude was, what are we fighting each other, or are we fighting the others? But he made the first move. Why does he think that Lewis is just gonna sit back and relax and let him have that position? Lewis qualified ahead of him, so he's the first driver for this team. If my theory is correct, and Mercedes does not all out want to say that we have that Lewis is our first driver or George is our first driver, whoever they decide, then by what the theory is and what the rules are, is that the driver who qualifies ahead is the first driver for that race, and he will get the preferential strategy. So I think maybe George was also that, if I gain this position, maybe they'll make the switch. If I showed to them that I am faster in the car, maybe. I don't know. But I think that...
But he was not fast. That's the whole problem.
Yeah, he was not fast. He was not fast. And I think that also led him to make that dumb decision of doing a one-stop strategy on a racetrack where tire degradation is so high that
one safety car and it would have been a master stroke, but okay.
Yes. Of course, it's always a gamble, but I think George Russell lacks the understanding that it's a gamble. It's either going to work or it doesn't, and he just has a lot of trouble accepting that it didn't work.
Yeah. I mean, the last few laps he had this conversation on the radio with his race engineer regarding the switching the positions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he clearly can't accept that. I know for that. I mean, he when he took the gamble, he should have accepted it with both the hands. But
Yeah.
mm, it's okay.
And I mean,
But do
to
you
be
think
fair,
do you
to
think Hamilton should get a penalty?
uh, I mean, the thing is that with the way FIA works, it's really
But
difficult.
Hamilton did not gain the position by that. No, he gave the position back.
He did
No,
give
no,
the
no. He
position.
gained the position.
No,
No, he
he
gave the position back. In the stint where they both went outside, he gave the position back. He then gained
Is
the
it?
position back by when I think George pitted.
did he?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, I don't
Yep.
think
Yep.
so.
Yep.
I think he
I
ran
don't think so.
because George did complain. So towards the end of the race, he was like, "Oh, Lewis ran me off the track." So, um,
It was clear, dude. He pushed him. It's like kind of a Brazil 2021 repeat
hmm,
between Max and Lewis,
Max and Lewis.
where Max pushed off Lewis to the far, and he also went off the tracks. And same thing happened here.
Yeah, but
And
then
people were
it's
like,
consistent. But it's consistent because Max didn't get a penalty then also.
"Yes, yes." At least it is consistent. But
Yeah.
again, Mercedes and Lewis fans were crying about penalty for Max that time also, but nobody surprisingly wasn't talking about this incident.
So
Surprise,
that's the
surprise.
point of being a team fan.
What?
He's
No,
saying
that
that's
is
the
the
point of
point of
being
being
a
the
team fan.
particular team fan. Yeah.
Okay, man. As you wish.
Uh,
I just want to put my point out. That's it.
See, the thing is that uh, I think it just boils down to the fact that the FIA needs to do something about their shitty stewarding. First thing. Second thing, uh, the thing is that I don't know, man. It's like it's so because I'm in my mind. I'm like, yeah. I mean, like Max also didn't get the penalty. Of course, we were crying about it, and I mean, even now, George Russell fans would be crying, and like any other F1 fan who's not a Lewis Hamilton fan would be crying about getting Lewis a penalty. That Lewis should have gotten a penalty. Okay, cool.
Hmm.
Do something about it. FIA, get your shit together. Like, then give out the penalties. The FIA investigated it and they didn't give a penalty. I think
Yeah.
it should have been a penalty. I think it should have been a penalty in Brazil to Max. I think
Yes.
it should have been a penalty in Japan for Lewis.
Yes. Yes.
But I mean, hats off to FIA. At least they're consistent somewhere, even if it is in their wrong decisions. But I mean, such a low bar, but I mean, you gotta give them props.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that
Okay, do you think they thought about Brazil and all?
no, that would require too much thinking from the stewards.
Yeah, exactly.
No. I'm not saying that they thought about it. I think the way the stewards worked is that if they're not able to figure out if there is a problem or if there was something unfair that happened, they just say no further investigation. I think they're just like they're so scared of giving a controversial decision that they give the most controversial decision because every single time when we think that okay that is supposed to be 100%, you look at what happened with Max last week, or you look at this incident with Lewis. Anybody who has watched Formula 1 for a consistently long period of time, for a couple of seasons, would know that an incident like that is going to warrant a penalty. It is definitely
Hmm.
going to be a penalty. But I don't know, man. I just one race weekend, I want to be a fly on the wall in that race control room. I just want to see what happens. I just want to see what happens because it's fascinating to me that things that are so obvious for fans and like so many, like you listen to n number of podcasts that people make similar to us. Everybody is like, yeah, that should have been a penalty, but it's not given. Like, it's crazy to me how it is not obvious to the people who are actually making the decision when it is so obvious to everybody else. It baffles my mind.
But it is. So I understand team orders and I understand how the players might be feeling about it. and they feel bad. So I obviously understand why Russell felt bad, because for him, he wanted to get that fifth and sixth. But I kinda agree with Lewis that if they would not have let Lewis go, it would have been sixth and seventh.
Yeah. That was very obvious. That was very obvious because what Russell was expecting Lewis to do was the Singapore thing, totally forgetting that Singapore is a circuit where it's so difficult to overtake that you having DRS is actually going to work. It's not the same case with Suzuka. It's actually easy to overtake on Suzuka. Like it's not, it's a proper racetrack. Suzuka is not a street track. It's not very narrow high speed corners or like some shit like that. Like it's not, like the characteristics of both the tracks are different. Yeah, it could have worked if Sainz was, let's say, a second or so behind and George just needed DRS to kind of maintain that gap. Then it could have worked. But by the time George actually let Lewis through, Sainz was already in the back of Lewis. Like, if he had not bitched and
Exactly.
moaned about it for so long, if he had not done that, then maybe Lewis could have helped because I think Sainz was somewhere around a second and a half behind. That's when I shouted for the first time that give the team orders to switch the positions. For me, that was the moment that they should have, and that should have happened instantaneously because they still had some breathing room. And then Lewis didn't need to attack Charles ahead. He could have easily carried George and could have let him kind of maintain that gap because it was only like a couple of laps. Maybe George would have had to, let's say, defend against Carlos for penultimate lap or the last lap, like one or two laps towards the end. But I think they could have made it work if only George Russell had not bitched and moaned and allowed Carlos Sainz to eat into that lead, into that gap that he had to Lewis. So it's okay. Karma got him again. But to be fair, I think both Ferrari and Mercedes scored the same number of points, right? 80.
Yeah, 18.
Yeah. So it's not, I mean, it's a good thing that they didn't get outscored by Ferrari. But yeah, George Russell, I think, I think a bunch of it is also Mercedes, like the team's fault, because I think they're kind of enabling George Russell and his behavior because I think when he was talking back and forth with his engineer, I think the last thing he said to him was, "So it's an instruction, George. This is not up for debate. Just do what you're told." So I think the team is also like, after a point, the team is also like, yeah, you know what, like just shut the fuck up and do what we're asking you to do. My
But
only worry is that
Carlos,
Carlos gave another epic radio from Carlos Sainz. Oh my god,
yes, 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 yes.
oh my god,
Such a cool radio again.
oh my
Coming
god.
onto the radio and saying, "They're using my trick against me."
Oh my god, Carlos Sainz is the sass master. Dude, he is like a great driver. He's a great strategist. And he just brings out the sass on the radio, dude. Like, it was so epic. I loved it. I was so angry at George, but when I heard that radio, I really laughed. Yeah, Carlos Sainz having a very, very good season.
But his race awareness is really good. Have to
Yeah,
give him props for that.
yeah. 100%. We gave him props last weekend. We did.
I mean, this weekend also, again, back to back, he's
Yeah.
proving that he deserves that Ferrari seat.
Yeah. He also deserves a championship fighting car, man. I just hope that Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, and hopefully Aston too, for the sake of Fernando. I hope that this season, I hope this season they've figured out what's wrong with their cars, and hopefully next season we can have a 4-way fight or a 5-way fight. Of course, that's hoping too much, but even if we can get a 2-way fight, it'll be good. Good change of pace. Can we now move on to Sergio?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Sergio Perez took the right lessons from Singapore. and decided to repeat the exact same thing on KMAC. Terror train continues. And Honeybaji, you were right. I think you said on our group chat that I'm going to get really angry when I see the move he made on KMAC. And I was, because I was like, I literally slapped my head and I was like, how are you making that move? I just don't understand.
It was not Sergio Perez, it was Bumper Car Perez.
Yeah, but like I will take my statements of last week back. I know, Shakuni, you and I were having a conversation about Sergio, and I supported Sergio a lot last weekend. He's just, I don't know what is wrong with him, man. Like, this is.
Uh, I mean, Perez never like felt champion material to me at any point of time. I mean, there were some instances where he was very brilliant, like take a Turkey 2020 or
Sakir,
no,
his
no,
first
Turkey,
win.
Turkey.
Like, also his first win,
Yeah.
like that drive from last
Also,
to first.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So that's what there were some instances, but I mean, I was never a fan of Checo. I never rooted for him.
Yeah, but he was also not this. I mean, yeah, the problem with Perez was, back in the day, was consistency. I think a lot of it
Dude,
changed
Perez
in
is consistent
2021.
when he is like a underdog, when people don't expect anything from him.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what. So when I don't know, man, I have very mixed feelings with Perez. I mean,
Also, to quote Mr. Helmut Marko, he's South American, dude.
Oh my
oh
God,
my
can we?
God.
Oh my God, can we stop? No, let's never quote Helmut Marko, please.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But Red Bull, what do you think about this loophole that they exploited this weekend?
Very smart, actually, to be very honest.
Very strange. I haven't heard or seen something like that until now.
No, it has been done before. So I read somewhere, this has been done before. I forgot what race, but this has been done before.
This has never been done before, because the moment Red Bull said that we are going to do this, because it is nowhere mentioned in the rule book that you cannot do this. The FIA said that okay, you're allowed to do it this time, but they are now making a change in the rules where you cannot do it. This has literally never happened before.
Yeah.
They just read the rule book, because I think it was a while. So Perez retired, and then I think for like some 7-8 odd laps, people were just wondering, because Perez was sitting in his car, and I think Jonathan
Mm.
Wheatley was having a conversation with the race control, and I think they were going back and forth on this only, and uh, yeah, I have the printout of the rule book with me, and there's no specific rule that says that the car is officially out. So technically, they are allowed to exploit that, because
But as I said, it was very sneaky and kind of very smart of Red Bull. They are able to exploit all these contracts so well.
I mean,
Dude,
to
I
me
think they have
personally,
a
I think it's
separate
just bad
section.
sportsmanship. Sorry, Kramer, please go.
I think they have a separate section of employees to find out these loopholes.
Dude,
Yeah, I
I
also
don't
think
even
that.
need, I don't think it is that hard, because let's face it, the rule book is literally filled with so many loopholes. It's so vaguely written, and things are not like, even when they do all these revisions and everything, because if you remember, after Spa 2021, they revised the rules for races that are like, what are going to be the rules for a crazy raining race like that. And then they were like, yeah, okay, they made the changes, whatever. And then 2022 Japan, they again had similar kind of what do you say, confusion about the points that needs to be applied, because do you remember there was like an entire what do you say, confusion about whether Max has become the champion or not. Because Max went into the cool down room and he was like, no, I still need one more point to become the champion. And then they were like, no, actually, you got the full point, so you are the champion. So they still, like, the rule for that particular situation was revised in 2021, and we still had a situation in 2022 where it was not clear what are the points that needs to be applied, what are the conditions going to be, like, even I think in Suzuka it was also like, is it going to be last lap plus one more lap, or is it going to be just when the counter runs down and that's the last lap? Even that thing happened. So I don't
Mm.
even think, I think you just need good reading comprehension skills. It's not even, I don't even think that you need like lawyers and shit to understand that and exploit loopholes. But for me personally, I think it's just bad sportsmanship. You retired the car, I think that's it. Your driver got a penalty. I don't think that this is the first time that a driver has retired and within the duration of the race it has been announced that they have received a penalty. I don't think this kind of situation hasn't happened, but I think this is the first time we saw that a driver who retired got a penalty, then got out on the track, did a couple of laps, served their penalty, and then retired the car.
Yeah, grid penalty से बचना है ना.
Yeah, again, so that's why I would say that it's, for me, very smart thing to do and everything, but I would still say that it's just bad sportsmanship. Like, you, and it's not in the spirit of the sport.
But in the last 2-3 years, every year there has been incidents when things have not been in the spirit of the sport. But I think now we have to accept it. This is the new
No, no,
F1.
no, no, no. See, I mean, there are some things like, I would say, uh, do you remember Fernando Alonso getting a penalty for not doing his 5 second penalty properly? And
Yeah.
then they went back and said that, oh, but you've actually not penalized these other drivers who've actually served the penalty. Like, there was something about the jack touching the rear wing or something like that. Those are good.
Hmm.
Those are good things to come out, because then those things provide a chance for the FIA to improve. Whether they take that chance or not is still a question, but it still provides a way for you to, course correct and kind of make better decisions, and understand what has been the precedence, and if it is wrong, then make those changes, whatever. Like, it this to me feels like, oh, you just forgot to put this, but it's like largely understood. It's like gentleman's agreement, right? When they talk about overtakes and everything, it's like it's
Hmm.
something that is understood by everybody on the grid, everybody who's participating in the sport, every team, every driver, they understand that. um this just, I don't know, it didn't, to me it was just like, I don't know, man. Like, I would expect this from a team who is in a close fight, or fighting for the survival, or something like that, and then it makes sense that you would try to do this out of the box thinking to literally gain an advantage or something like that. Which is what I think the Alonso saying that the serving the penalty thing was. I think it was not because I think Aston Martin at that time was a bad team or anything, but it was just an advantage. It was really early on in the season. They were like, wait, why would we let go of these points? These can be very important points for us. This to me was like, I don't know. I wasn't impressed. And not just because it's Red Bull. Any team that would have done this, I would have had similar feelings.
Hmm. Honey Badger, what are your feelings?
I mean, it's okay, man. I don't mind it. They're anyway like
A gazillion
unreachable
points
right
ahead.
now. Yeah, I don't care anyway what they do.
No, but
Let them exploit all the loopholes.
sure, but like, it's also, I mean, it's not like K-Mac was on his way to win his first race or something, but still, like, like, Checo literally got away from ruining Albon's race last weekend, and then this weekend he actually got a penalty, and now he's going to get away with that also, because I think if the FIA has accepted that this is a valid thing to do, they cannot
They have
now.
accepted. They have
They
accepted.
have,
He is not
yeah,
getting.
exactly. So now they can't, like, heading into Qatar, they cannot be like, oh Checo, you have a 3 place grid drop, because they've already accepted that this is a valid way for you to serve your penalty. So I think Perez has escaped a lot of consequences for his very stupid and very questionable actions.
He
Hmm.
broken his front wing twice, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got his front wing replaced 3 times
Twice.
in just one race. What the hell, bro?
I mean, it's okay. You are under pressure, but fuck, ruin your own race, but don't ruin others' races, no.
Yeah. And then, like,
And he did it deliberately. Like it was such a deliberate move where you can see that he saw Albon coming and he still went inside.
K-Man,
Yeah, K-Mac,
No, I was
K-Mac.
talking about
Yeah.
the Singapore one.
Singapore.
Singapore one, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
like, similarly for K-Mag as well. Like, he was so far behind. It's not even like they headed into that corner like right next to each other. He was so far behind. That was like just the stupidest dive bomb. Like, I would not do that dive bomb if I was
Dude,
playing F1.
I mean, same corner, Logan Sargent made a move on Bottas, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Same corner. Bottas went off into the gravel and he had to come back. And I think he didn't finish, right? Bottas?
Yeah, he
No, no, no.
retired.
He DNF'd, yeah. So, what's the difference between Perez and a rookie then? If
Exactly.
he's making mistakes like this, having that dominant car in his hand, what's the difference between a
And I
rookie
have
and.
been cursing the rookie also for the mistake.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Instead,
That's what. That's what.
and you are expecting me to be calm about Perez, who is a senior driver? Come on, bro. I'm not doing that. He is supposed to be better than this. This is
Yeah.
just stupid. And if Red Bull or any of the Red Bull fans expect that, oh, this was a racing incident, no, it was not.
It was not.
This
No,
was
no,
a
no. I mean,
deliberate move.
I would have accepted it if it happened once in a blue moon, but
Back to back, bro.
consecutive races happening, the same things happening, no, I can't take it.
Yeah, I'm running out of ways to give Perez the benefit of the doubt and be like, oh, but he's like, yeah, I'm just running out of excuses for Perez is what I'll say.
I never had excuses, but that's a different discussion altogether.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm mostly talking about my thoughts and my
Yeah,
defense
yeah,
of
yeah.
Perez last week. It is similar to what you did for Stroll in US, and then what he did in
Yes,
Brazil.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm doing. So yeah, man, I don't know. Like this entire race just made me angry. Uh,
Wait, where was Stroll? He DNF'd, right? Or
yeah, he did.
Stroll also DNF.
yeah, and poor guy Alonso, they had it all wrong with the strategy.
Yeah, I
That
think
car
this
had no pace.
the soft was not a good tire to start on. I think.
Yeah, yeah, and they had to pit early, and that made him vulnerable to all the others who are on
Yeah,
mediums. Very bad strategy.
yeah, very questionable call from, and I think Fernando was rightfully angry about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I mean, it's part of the game. Again, they took a gamble. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
It's
I
as
mean, he
simple as
didn't
that.
even fight. He was way too much respectable for a Fernando Alonso level.
Yeah. I think, see, and this is what I would say I love about Fernando is when he knows that there's no point fighting, he's not going to make these stupid dive bomb or like just
Yeah.
try to do like silly stupid thing that makes us all go like, what the fuck are you doing, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my god, Perez. But let's not talk about Perez anymore. I'm just Yeah,
Let's talk about Max then.
yeah, Max Verstappen back with a vengeance.
Back with a vengeance, and now the guys knows about the Max Verstappen cool down room podcast as well.
Yeah,
But he was his sense of humor is so low he couldn't get the joke.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, because and like for a second, okay, for a second I thought that this podcast thing was real, and I will admit that I googled Max Verstappen podcast. I couldn't find anything. I thought this was a real thing that Red Bull was doing, especially also because I think that was like a fake apology post on the
Yeah, yeah,
Red Bull. So I thought, is this thing real? Then I got the joke very late too, but yeah, that was fun.
Okay, speaking of Max, do you guys think he will break that 455 points record?
How much? How many points does he have right now?
400.
454, 400.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
definitely.
How
like
much?
Like,
55.
who's stopping him?
He will. He will. I like. There are like 6 races remaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Six.
think he will do it in Mexico.
Hmm. He can. He can.
I
Oh,
mean,
also,
Qatar is a
um,
sprint weekend, so
Yeah.
potentially he can earn like what, 33 points. And
hmm,
yeah, Mexico. The next race is Mexico, right?
No, US.
What next race
US.
is?
US. I think he'll do it
Next
in
race is
Kota.
Qatar.
No,
Next
no,
race is
after
Qatar.
Qatar. After Qatar is US. I think he'll do it in
Oh, okay.
US.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Qatar, Kota, Mexico, Brazil, Vegas, Abu Dhabi.
Oh, Vegas. Oh my God. Yeah, don't remind
Man,
me. Watching
next
the race
five
on Monday
races are
morning.
like no, next 5 races are like a pain in the ass for you guys.
They're actually not that bad. I would just say that Kota is a pain to stay up for. To an
Okay,
extent,
Qatar is
Mexico too.
10:30.
Yeah. So,
Dude, Shakuni sleeps at 11.
what? I will be awake. Don't worry. I'll try to be awake.
Yeah, and next day is Monday. When you see like Max pulling 4 5 seconds in front, you are like, "Ah, man, I'm sleeping."
it's
Yeah, I might do
okay.
that.
Yeah, it's fine. Do that. We'll fill you in. We'll tell you what happened in the race. Join the podcast. We'll tell you what
Yeah, I
happened in
mean, it
the
will
race.
be lights out and Max wins, so it's not
Yeah.
going to be any different.
Yeah, that's fine. We've literally watched the like so many seasons. What, this is his 13th win of the season. So,
Yeah.
yep.
Hmm.
Oh, also 11th team by next year, most probably.
Who's joining? Andretti.
Yeah,
Oh, is it's final?
his his bid is accepted, no?
Oh, nice.
Oh,
So there were
I
three
didn't know
bids.
this.
Yeah, so there were three bids, and two of them are rejected, and Andretti's bid is taken to the next step.
Oh, but like it's not like a green light,
Confirmed.
green
Andretti
light.
comes with Cadillac, so Andretti will come with Cadillac.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
okay.
So two more seats open up. Liam Lawson has a chance.
Danny can go there.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kramer,
yeah. Please go ahead. Go ahead
You
with your
had
rant,
a
Kramer.
Kramer, you had a Danny Rick rant. Please, the stage is all
Oh yeah,
yours.
yeah, yeah. Dude, okay, I am fine with Daniel Ricciardo coming back, but I am not okay with him coming back to Alpha Tauri because Alpha Tauri is like a sister team for Red Bull and it is like breeding ground for like young rookie drivers and there is no way Danny Rick is like young or rookie driver and letting there is like 8 more teams he can go to. Literally there are 8 more teams and he can go there easily but not Alpha Tauri man. That's just unacceptable.
I don't think rest of the 8 teams are willing to take Ricardo, right? Because they have their driver lineup set.
Yeah. And also,
That's the problem. I mean,
yeah,
Dude, I
Bhanu Bhanu
don't
continue.
care. I don't want to see him in
Ricardo
that Alpha seat.
didn't
I
choose
want,
Alpha Tauri. I mean,
yeah, I
Yeah.
want to see like future Red Bull drivers in that seat, not Ricardo.
I understand, but it was not his choice. He had only one option left. That's how he chose, I guess. He
Hmm.
wanted a seat in F1 and he got one. That's it.
Yeah, I think
But
that's
yeah,
what
I agree.
happened.
I agree to your points.
And also, I mean, like, look, Liam Lawson, absolutely phenomenal performances in these three races that he's driven for AlphaTauri. But man, the
Yes.
way AlphaTauri treats rookies, just this pressure cooker from day one. So many young drivers who just didn't get, and I get it, like, cool, they didn't show potential, this, that, blah blah blah. But like,
Hmm.
they have done this so many times. They've promoted a driver, then demoted it. They've signed a rookie driver, and then just halfway through the season they've just been like, okay, tata, bye bye, we don't care, we don't require your services anymore. I would much rather Liam Lawson wait another year and then get a proper chance than just be like, oh, now that there is a rookie driver, let's just get rid of Daniel Ricciardo because he's wasting
Hmm.
a rookie seat, quote unquote. Um,
Yeah.
I am all for having younger talents on the grid, but not in a team like AlphaTauri that is just going to give them 8, 9 races, and if they are not performing to max levels uh, from day one, they are out in like 10 races. I would much rather they wait one more season. So I have very mixed
Agree.
feelings about that, and it's nothing to do with the fact that I love Daniel Ricciardo. Um, I would have been 100% okay if Daniel did not have a seat this entire season. Frankly, I wasn't expecting a comeback of Daniels in the AlphaTauri seat. I didn't
Hmm.
think that they would get rid of Nick DeVries that early. I knew he was not
Yeah.
doing super well in that AlphaTauri, but that was also a very shit car. It's literally the last team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as much as I, agree with Nick being treated very badly, I don't see where Alpha Tauri was going with Nick DeVry as well. I mean, he is a great driver, and I still hate how they dealt with it. But I just don't see the vision of Alpha Tauri right now. Like, I don't understand what they are doing or trying to achieve now.
See, I think at the time, I think Red Bull didn't think that they had any junior drivers that had the potential to jump into a Formula One seat, and hence they signed somebody like De Vries, who in his first quote unquote F1 debut race, scored points for Williams. So they did see that kind of potential and expected something out of it, and they signed him because they were like, okay, here is a driver who can just jump into a car and give a phenomenal performance, and that is the kind of person we need. He obviously wasn't able to do that, and some of the fault does lie with Nick there, with respect to his performance. But again, like, AlphaTauri does not treat rookies like rookies. Like, there's so
Hmm.
little time given. So Kramer, I get where you're coming from, and if it wasn't for this track record of Red Bull and AlphaTauri treating young drivers like this, I would 100% agree with you. But Liam Lawson again is a driver who's showing so much promise. I don't want him getting that opportunity at a time when he's not ready. Like, look at what happened with Gasly.
Exactly.
Yeah, he got promoted to the
This-
Red Bull seat
Hmm.
very quickly, then got demoted back. That also fucks
So
with you. Like,
This is a sad generation, dude. We are a sad generation of people who have very much trust on the recency bias, and we give very less thought and less time to we
exactly.
judge things too quickly in both ways. While especially in sports, while you're picking a driver, see, go through the F1 comments, like where lost. I mean, Ricardo and Sonoda were confirmed as AlphaTauri drivers. Half or maybe like most of the comments were saying Lawson deserves a seat, Lawson deserves a seat. So similar kind of comments, right?
Yeah,
I
and I would
feel
say it was
impressed. I
similar to
know
what happened with Nick
Nick De Vries
DeVries.
had.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
yes,
the kind
yes.
of support Nick
And
DeVries had.
Exactly. We had a discussion when Nick
Yeah,
DeVries had a phenomenal F1 debut, replacing Albon that time, right? We
yeah,
had a discussion. This might be an outlier.
Mm.
Maybe he might not do that well.
yeah,
See, we sadly we have become the generation. I mean, the stakeholders, everyone involved in the sport, they have become the. That's how the things are right now. We are judging too quickly and getting the drivers in, and we are judging too quickly and getting the drivers out.
yeah.
That's sad reality.
I would say it's
And
similar to what's happening with Logan Sargent and the entire
it's happening
conversation about.
across sports, not only in Formula One.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's happening everywhere.
yeah.
Sad, sad. Reels generation is the worst generation, dude.
Yep. Gen Zs.
Yeah.
Okay, do
In
you
order to
think
cater
Liam
to them,
Lawson will go to Williams with Albon?
See, again, this is my point. Like, I don't think Logan Sargent is, again, this is recency bias because he's had two crashes in last 3 or 4 races. That's what it is. And see, man, I get it, it's going to like hinder your ability to develop the car, this, that, blah blah blah, but like, you budget according to that. That's how you budget. I get it, but again, like, he's a rookie. You have to give these people time. I get it. And then again, what happens, what is Williams planning to do? Because the rumors are that Felipe Drogovic is in contention for that team, Liam Lawson is in contention for that team. So what, you're just going to have Alex Albon in one seat and then just go through these rookies, and if they have like 2 or 3 crashes that cost you a couple millions, you're just gonna be like, okay, rookie number 2, you're out, rookie number 3, get into the car. Like, I don't get it. And even like, look at Haas, look at a Haas pairing. Like, Haas went for, okay, we have like 2 experienced drivers, we're not going to have rookies, we're not going to give Mick Schumacher any more time in the car, which again, like, I'm not saying Mick deserved a seat. Like, I think his last season that he drove for Haas was like pretty bad, and he did cost Haas a shit ton of money, which Haas, let's be fair, probably did not have. So I get it, but it's also a team that has two very experienced drivers, two drivers who are quote unquote consistent drivers who can fight for points, this, that. They're eighth in the constructors. Kevin Magnussen came back to the team. He has what, Haas, I think, in total has some 12 points or 11 points. Nico Hulkenberg
Well,
has 9, and Kevin Magnussen has the remaining ones.
3.
Like, so what? So you are getting rid of rookies because they're not able to perform. Then you'll bring in experienced drivers, and but like, your experienced drivers are also not able to. Like, so then what? Are you not going to have a driver? Like, we are so desperate to get results instantaneously that it's just like, this recency bias is just, it's going to ruin careers. It's going to ruin teams. Like, just give people time.
yeah,
Just calm down and give people time. I get it. It's a business first and foremost. It's entertainment. There's a lot of money on the line. There's that. But then, like, if you can't do that, maybe you need to question the decisions that you're making. Maybe then Logan Sargent should never have joined the team. But Williams also wanted that bank that would have come from US, and like having an American driver and blah 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 blah. You also wanted that, but then you also want him to drive like an experienced driver and keeping her out of the wall, which I think he's done for most of the year. It's just the last couple of races where he's had uh, a few shunts that have been costly to the team. But other than that, I think he's been a pretty solid driver, I would say. Nothing spectacular, but I mean, could have been worse. Could still be Latifi in that car. So,
Okay, compared to Latifi, Sargent is much, much, much better.
exactly my point. Exactly my point. You also have experienced drivers who are so shit. Like, l- we literally, like, 40 minutes ago, we compared Sergio Perez's moves on Kevin Magnussen as a rookie mistake. The dude has been on the grid for more than a decade now. It's a gamble. It's always a gamble. Everything you do in sport is a gamble. Strategy decisions are gamble. Driver signings are gamble. Employee poaching is a gamble. It's always everything. Design decisions, like everything is a gamble. So just accept the consequences that your gamble maybe did not work the exact way that you pictured it. I think if Logan Sargent loses his Williams seat, I would again be very, very, very disappointed. And I don't know, man.
Hmm.
While I agree he has not lit the grid on fire with his spectacular performances, uh, I still think that he's not that bad a rookie. He's
Hmm.
he's actually doing a pretty decent job. Is he the next, Lando or George or Charles? No, but he's also not Latifi or Stroll, which is a blessing.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I think that covers everything that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anything else?
Yeah. Hmm. I think that's about it.
Yep. Oh, okay, cool. As I was saying, I did not calculate the points because it is fun when Kramer is on the call and we don't do predictions. So, thanks everyone for joining.
Yeah.
We are done.
Predictions has become my segment now.
Thanks everyone for joining. We are done with Suzuka. Qatar is, I think, next to next weekend, and it is also a sprint weekend. Um, the second last sprint weekend. I don't know, man.
Oh God.
I'm not too sure as to how good that circuit is for sprint. From what I can very poorly recall from the last race, it was a pretty boring one, despite the fact that it was in 2021, which was a season where we had like one of the best championship battles.
It's
It was,
where it's where this Alonso's radio came out, right?
yes,
Ask
ask Ocon
ask
to defend
who?
like a lion.
Ocon to defend like a lion. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that Qatar circuit gave us in 2021 was that epic radio.
Yeah, yeah.
But, okay, am I the only one excited for Las Vegas?
Yeah, it seems like.
Yeah. Even the
Dude,
people of
okay,
Vegas are not excited for it.
Yeah,
dude,
because for them it's a
that's
nuisance.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that circuit looks like a square, almost a square, dude.
I
And
don't think
it,
The reason why they are not happy is because they have closed the Bellagio fountain, they have closed the MGM
oh, no,
grandstand, everything.
if you turn that side, turn that circuit upside down, it looks like a pig. That's all I know.
okay. I just we should not have more street circuits, man.
Yeah.
I don't know why we have more and more street circuits. I mean, who shared the Greece thing? As much as I love Greece and I think it's a very fantastic location to visit for a vacation, we just can we not have any more street tracks? Like we
Street
have
race.
enough.
Yeah.
Bring back Nürburgring or Hockenheim. Bring back
Bring
proper
back
racetrack.
Stepang. Bring back Booth Circuit.
I know, right? Bring back Shanghai, dude. Like, just let's just
Shanghai. Yeah.
yeah, so many good tracks, and we're just going for street races. I don't know for what reason. So let's see. I also
Money.
think, yeah, I know it's money. I also think that Vegas has
Hmm.
been hyped way too much, like almost Miami levels, even more, I would
I,
say.
I think I think it's going to be a super flop race.
Yeah, same.
Yep.
Dude, but the Glitterati will be very good.
Glitterati. Apart from that's the only thing I think it's going to be good
Yeah,
talking about.
exactly
Yeah,
like Monaco.
exactly. And like, so this, you're literally describing a Monaco race weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Monaco 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't like Monaco 1.0. Why do we need a 2.0? That's my point. We don't like it. We
क्योंकि
don't like
पैसे आले आले.
2.0.
पैसे आले आले.
Oh my god. Like, and I mean, like, how are even the tickets being sold when you need like a kidney and a half worth to just stand on the
Okay, people
witness.
in America are just mad. Okay,
I don't know, man. Just stop. Like, I think we need a calendar that is just pure racetracks. Like, just have 15
Mm.
races. I don't care, but like, have them on proper racetracks meant for racing, meant for overtaking. Like, just like broad enough that two or three cars can go side by side, and you have some action. Bring back Germany, man. Like, it's bonkers to me that a circuit like Spa is in danger of losing, and we have like
no,
Vegas.
bring back Malaysia.
Yeah, he said Sepang. Honeybadger said Sepang.
Okay,
Malaysia is again great circuit. Also, speaking of BIC, I don't think anybody of us watches MotoGP, right?
No,
You?
no, no.
no,
No.
Yeah.
I watched it like in 2020 because COVID.
Yes, exactly. I didn't. I used to watch in my childhood, but
Look, I saw like
now,
good chunk of Valentino Rossi domination era,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. I same, same.
Yamaha era.
So that Michael Schumacher
Is Honey Badger
Valentino
saying
Rossi era.
something?
Yeah.
No, he just faded out.
No, no, no. I'm saying, aren't you guys listening?
Your voice is a little bit low. But
One sec. Is it good now?
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
much better.
Okay, okay, okay. So, I mean, I've seen that Valentino Rossi era, as Kramer was saying, that Schumacher Rossi, that crossover
yeah.
era.
Mark Marquez era.
Mark Marquez is like recent, right?
Yeah. No, I saw that part.
Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, I mean, he is like a generational talent.
Yeah.
But I've followed the GP and the results, but didn't get to watch the race.
Oh, and even like I think I stopped it when Ten Sport took it off.
Yeah,
Yeah, I stopped it
accessibility to
when
watch different
yeah.
sports is a
Then I
big
had to
problem.
find like Eurosport or something. Man, it was just too much effort. I just gave up.
Too much trauma.
No trauma, man. I didn't support anyone. I was like, yeah, this is nice. Maverick Vinales. And but this MotoGP has a great commentary.
Hmm.
Okay, my point was that MotoGP is back is here in India for the first time. Can Formula One also come back, please? I don't want to buy tickets in euros or dollars or
Yeah,
Canadian dollars or Australian dollars or yen.
Brazilian dollars.
but don't go to Australia, man. I mean, if you're going only for a to watch a Aussie GP, I suggest you not to go.
Yeah. Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
No, I think
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
there are a lot of circuits for me where I mean I would go for a vacation to that. Like literally, we would go to Japan to watch. Like we want to go at a time when Suzuka is happening, and then Neil can also go crazy about all the anime stuff there. So that's the plan.
Man, Japan is a bit tough to do for like a Grand Prix and a vacation because circuit is far away from the city and you won't get a
Hmm.
rooms and all.
No, no. So you have to stay in Osaka. Not you can't
Yeah.
stay in Suzuka. So you stay in Osaka, and you do the Grand Prix weekend, and Neil can nerd out for the rest of the week on anime stuff.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah. So that's how, and that's the case. So like Australia also have a lot of friends and like coral reefs and this that. So like you do the race weekend and then make it a
Dude,
holiday basically.
Australia has huge spiders.
Huge spiders.
So
Yeah,
you
they
Yeah.
want
have a
them as
lot
a
of
pet?
No
they have
man,
a
I am
lot of
scared.
wildlife. Yeah,
Yeah, I am scared of spiders.
cool. Ron Weasley, we get it. Okay. On that note, on that joke that only I got and anybody who's
I
Dude,
also got.
come on.
okay.
We
But
all know
he is
Harry
not
Potter.
Ron. He is more like वो कौन था Malfoy का friend?
Crab
Crab.
boil, yeah.
Crab.
No,
Crab.
I
Kramer is
think
Crab.
I think Kramer is Percy Weasley.
Hmm. No.
Yeah.
He was too stickler for rules. Kramer is not.
Kramer is not. Kramer is actually Mandangus Fletcher.
Oh, wow. Man, I am happy as long as I am not Peter Pettigrew.
Ah,
Yeah, you're yet to betray us on that level, but I'm like, jury's still out.
Yeah.
you can still be.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. No, man. I am
but
like a Hagrid.
you're not
Oh
Hagrid.
no, you are not
Please.
Hagrid. Sorry.
Hagrid is so pure. You're
And
not
I am
Hagrid.
serious black actually.
Yeah, I
Come
mean,
on.
no, I'm not too high on Sirius, so yeah, cool. But no, you're actually, I don't know. I know, I think he's Mandangus Fletcher.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree. Fletcher. Fletcher
Fletcher.
it is.
Fletcher it is.
Man, we went from geeking on anime to Harry Potter.
Yeah,
And you still got Mandanga's Fletcher.
yep, that's
Yeah.
what
Man, I am
happens.
happy that I am not Peter Pettigrew
Good. That's what
or
happens when
Bellatrix.
these five nerds hang out. Thanks everyone. Let's not make editing harder for me. Bye. Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Bye bye.